Welcome to the Idaho REALTORS podcast, our association's podcast for membership, education, and outreach. I'm the IR Communications Director, Nick Stout, and I'll be your host for this week. On this episode, I interview Idaho REALTORS 2022 President Patrick Malone. In our meeting, Patrick and I look back on his year as the Idaho REALTORS President, as well as look to the future and what our association has ahead of us in 2023. We'll also have some information about Election Day on October 8th. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to visit our website, idahorealtors.com, for more information. Also, if you haven't already done so, remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Welcome to the Idaho REALTORS podcast. I'm Nick Stout, the Communications Director, and I am fortunate enough to be joined this week by our IR 2022 President, Mr. Patrick Malone. Patrick, thank you so much for joining me this week.
Good morning, Nick. My pleasure.
We are still kind of recovering from convention here. This is a few weeks out from when we returned. So, we're trying to get back to our regular headspaces, but I think we're still a little bit tired from convention. So bear with us if it's, a little bit slower today, but I wanted to take some time and sit down with Patrick and kind of reflect on our year with him this last year as our 2022 president. Patrick, your term is up here at the end of December, correct? And starting January 1, Denise Lundy will be assuming the role of the 2023 president.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So I just kind of want to take a moment and just kind of reflect on your service for us this year. So if you don't mind, I have a few questions prepared, and I was just going to run through those questions for you, and maybe we'll give a little bit of the report of 2022 to our listeners on behalf of our president this year.
Yeah, sounds great. Fire away.
Awesome. Well, my first one is a pretty simple question, but as the 2022 president of IR, what do you have to report to our members here on the state of the association? My thought here is kind of like, state of the union, state of the state sort of deal. So how's the association doing?
Well, Nick, I am really happy to let you know that, and the members as well, that our association is in an amazing financial position, and that is in no small part to the hard work that the executive committee and the board of directors have done all year, and of course the staff at Idaho REALTORS. We're blessed to have a phenomenal staff there that makes everything operate smoothly and keeps us on the straight and narrow. But really, with all this talk of what's going on in the economy and recession and what may happen, we are positioned very, very soundly. We have a very conservative budget. We'll be operating coming in at under our budget for 2022. We have very, very strong reserves. And of course, that is the effort of not just this EC, but of many, many ECs previously that also operated on a very conservative budget. So strong financial safe, very conservative. We've got very, very healthy reserves that are on board. And of course, one of the other things that we've worked on this year that we're really excited about is putting that reserve money to work for the members. And so we did work this year on creating an investment strategy policy. We looked at how those monies were held. In reviewing those accounts, we determined that they weren't really getting the return that they had been previously. So, and actually Denise Lundy spearheaded that to get us with an investment policy that makes sense so that everyone's on the same page, and to be able to transition those funds from low return things into a higher return investment vehicles, but still very, very safe, and always keeping in mind that we're protecting the members' money. So from a financial standpoint, we just really couldn't be in better shape.
It sounds like the ship is sailing well at the moment. So we appreciate your leadership and your guidance this last year. What are you most proud of from your year as IR president?
Gosh, so many things. But I think, if I had to narrow it down to one thing, when we set out the beginning of the year, the goal for our EC was to just raise the bar. And we just wanted to we didn't want to blow things up and reinvent the wheel and get caught up in, I certainly didn't want to get caught up in a vanity project or something that was just going to distract from the good work that the association does. And so our goal all year was just to strictly raise the bar. Could we improve all of the programs and all of the services. And I really feel like we've accomplished that task. I think everyone stepped up, everyone worked very, very hard. With all of the challenges, I mean, coming out of COVID and associations not meeting and just the logistical challenges that we've had providing the services and the type of events that we like to provide. I just feel really good about what we were able to do. And of course, in no small part in the communications department, you've been able to up the game for Idaho Realtors there. You've aggressively expanded how we get our message out. We went from just shooting out emails to people to, now we have our website, our social media pages, our Wednesday webinars, our Monday minutes, the podcasts. I feel like we're really getting that message out there in every way possible. And so as we've traveled around the state, we've told people, hey, if there's a platform that you want to get the message on, let us know, and we'll try to hook that up as well too. To us, it's about getting out the message, right? And we don't really care how we get it to them, just so we get it to them in a way that they can get the information. And but that's just one example. Our communications, I feel like you've really stepped up what we offer to the members. Our events, of course, you mentioned convention. We just came from convention. Record-setting number of people showed up in the Coeur d'Alene, and the energy was just palpable in the room. I mean, everyone was just so excited to be back together again and to see everyone. And so the convention committee did just a phenomenal job of putting that event on. I can't even imagine the hundreds and hundreds of sleepless nights that they spent getting that all set up and getting everything running through the convention, but they just did a phenomenal job with that. Our RPAC wise, we've had a phenomenal year. We've received the NAR President's Cup many years in the past, and we're on track to receive the President's Cup as well this year for 2022. Our RPAC event at convention, we were able to raise a record-setting number of pledges that we have members that pledged to invest. $348,000 was raised at our RPAC event in 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, absolutely a fun event, but really, something very proud of that our members and major investors stepped up and made that commitment that they get the importance of RPAC and understand it. And so was excited to see that happen. But on the education department as well, Amanda and the education team did a phenomenal job. We offered 45 continuing education credits just at convention alone. So I think that's a record for the number of classes we've offered at any one time as well. And I know there were 17 other classes that IR partnered with local associations around the state in the last year to offer additional classes, plus the GRI program as well. So I know I'm probably neglecting someone. Everyone in the team has worked so hard. So, but really, I just feel like we were able to deliver a better product and a better experience to the members, and that we were able to raise the bar on all of the things that we offer to our members. So.
Well, I will say as a member of the staff over here, we kind of have a perspective of, I don't want to say in the trenches, but we don't always poke our heads up and just take stock of all that we've done. It's just the work we do here. And, when you lay it all out like that, it is clear that we, as an association, have really raised the bar this year. And I appreciate you taking the time to thank us all for that and for recognizing that and, help keeping us aware of where we were at and where we've, moved to. It's been a big full year. So this is I just closed out my first full year with Idaho Realtors as a communications director. And yeah, looking back, we got a lot done this year. So this was exciting.
Election Day is right around the corner. Idaho's general election is Tuesday, November 8th. And we want to remind you to get out and vote on Election Day. Make sure to check your voter registration and find your polling location before Election Day, and contact Idaho Realtors office or visit our website if you have any Election Day questions. Also, if you haven't already done so, you should visit voteidaho.gov. Voteidaho.gov is an amazing site provided by the Idaho Secretary of State's office that allows you to register to vote, check your voting record, and find your polling location. No matter what, just make sure you are prepared for November 8th and get out, vote, and make your voice heard.
But we have our future ahead of us too. And one thing that I think is really interesting about the way our leadership is structured is that just because your job as president is finishing up here at the end of the year doesn't mean we're going to let you go anywhere. We're going to keep you around, for that insight and advice for as long as you'll let us. So, as our 2023 immediate past president, what will you be looking ahead to in next year for 2023, and what are you excited about?
I've told many people, Nick, that being the president of Idaho Realtors has been an amazing honor, and I have loved every minute of it. I would do it again in a minute. But that being said, I'm excited about handing the reins over and transitioning to a new chapter. So excited about that. But really, what I'm most excited about next year is just the amazing team that we have pulled together. We have such phenomenal people coming up on the executive committee. Denise Lundy is nothing shy of amazing. Katrina Ware, just incredibly talented, amazing woman. Julie Anglesey as well. I mean, I could not be more blessed to have the dream team executive committee that I've had the privilege of working with this year. And I am really looking forward to all the amazing things that the new team is going to delve into next year. I mean, this is just a real powerhouse group. And I think the sky's the limit with them. I think they can really do anything that they put their mind to. And so really excited to see what develops from that group.
Awesome. So what lessons or experiences have you taken away from this year that you're going to reflect on and kind of keep with you going forward in your life?
I think probably the biggest eye-opener thing for me is how humbling it is to see, as you travel around the state and you meet all these people, we're all busy and we all like to pile things on our plate and get involved and engaged and do as much as we can. But when you travel around the state and you see just how much people are involved, like I said, it is it's amazing, it's uplifting, it's very humbling. Sometimes you look at what some of our members do and you think, holy cow, am I a slacker? But it's incredible to me, that diversity of our members and how important they are to their community, how many things that they're involved in, not just the realtor industry and their personal business, but how engaged they are in their communities, how much they actually give, both of their time, of their money, and of their energy. And of course, I have to put a plug in for Idaho Realtors committees, because as we all know, that's where the real work gets done. And we have a very, very dedicated group of members that volunteers for these committees and just really pour all of themselves and heart and soul into these committees to do the work on behalf of the members. And so I certainly would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge them. And then also our local AEs and local presidents. I mean, they, again, they're serving in leadership positions. They're volunteering their time, their effort. They're in the trenches every day trying to buy and sell real estate with their clients, but also supporting their local associations. And so it's going to sound corny, but it's just really uplifting to have that privilege to go around and to meet all of these people. And so I think that's probably been the best part of this year, is just that ability to network with a lot of our members, to travel, to meet them, to see all the good work they do. That part's just been phenomenal. That does give me a way to segue into, we have a new award that IR has recently approved. And so that is the Idaho Good Neighbor Award. And of course, that's piggybacked on the NAR Good Neighbor Award. But we realize that we have so many people doing such good work that we just wanted a way to acknowledge that work. Maybe they don't compete on a national level with some of these folks, but that doesn't mean the work is any less important or should be recognized. So I'm really excited to announce that Idaho for 2023 will be starting an Idaho Good Neighbor Award to be able to recognize these individuals, and of course to support the nonprofit or charities that are important to them.
It's going to be exciting, and I know internally that's something we're really excited about promoting inside the association here in our office. But I was trying to chime in because I wanted to thank you. The sort of boots on the ground leadership that you've been showing us this last year has just been incredible. And it seems that no matter where I went, Patrick was showing up. And I know that you spent a lot of time, sleepless nights, driving around the state in your car and just kind of, commuting back and forth. And you and I've talked at length about what that commute to the Treasure Valley, or I guess this corner of the Treasure Valley is like in Boise and stuff, whether it's flying or driving or whatever. And, whether it was barbecues for local associations this summer or big events, or you've done a tremendous job just, making sure that there is a presence felt and that you have shown up and, acted as the leadership that our association needs. So on behalf of our membership, I really appreciate you for, giving us that sort of, in-person leadership where you can, especially after we've had so much time where we haven't been able to kind of meet together in person and, relegated everything to these sort of Zoom meetings and everything else. Having a leader in our meetings in person has been really, really great. So thank you for taking that initiative and taking that time and giving us your time to do that and, show up for the barbecues and luncheons and the meetings where we needed you. So we really appreciate it.
Well, Nick, thank you. I mean, it's been my pleasure, but I think I can speak for all of us when given the option between being on another 2-hour Zoom call or getting in the car and going to a meeting, I'm on the road every time.
That's fair. That's fair. So I'm just curious if you have any advice about leadership or management that you kind of hold dear that you'd want to share with our listeners today.
A few things come to mind. I think when you find yourself in a leadership position, I think the best thing you can do is surround yourself with smart people. And then equally as important, then listen to them. I just think that's overlooked sometimes of, that this is a group effort and a team effort and everyone is smarter than anyone individually. And so surround yourself with the best group that you can possibly find and seek out opposing views. I think we have to be careful that we don't put ourselves in a bubble where we just get that echo and feedback of our own opinion. And so I would encourage leaders to, find the people that just completely disagree with you, seek them out, and try to engage them and find out what their heartburn is and what their concerns and issues are. It's amazing how eye-opening that can be. And I guess, of course, as leaders, our job as leaders is always to elevate others and to identify future leaders. And so I am supremely confident that Idaho Realtors will be in much better shape next year than this shape. And I know they will thrive under the amazing team that Idaho Realtors has put together. So just couldn't be more excited about what's coming in the future from the executive committee for next year.
Well, we really appreciate that. And I appreciate that advice as well. Especially you have given courtesy to people like our office and people in positions like mine of asking for our input and seeking our advice and seeking our, suggestions for everything. And, I've always felt like there was an open door, open table discussion whenever there was something between you and me about the association. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today and kind of, being that open-minded listener and taking our advice for that. Before we call this a podcast and end this, I'm just curious, I kind of kept the clip going pretty quick. Did we skim over anything, or is anything else you wanted to share with our listeners while we were talking today?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. Just, want to share again that it's been my honor and privilege to serve the Idaho Realtors and to serve our members. And I'm excited to have that opportunity and feel very blessed that I was able to go on this journey this year, and I'm excited to see it come to fruition. So,
well, Patrick, thank you again. And, you're not done yet. We still got you for 2 more months. So, buckle up because there's a couple of EC meetings left we need your help with.
Right. Well, we've still got Orlando coming up in November. So 1 or 2 more meetings there.
Yeah. So we'll keep you busy, but I hope that you are kind of enjoying this kind of roll down the hill at the moment for this year of work that you've done. It's been an incredible year, and we appreciate everything that you do for us. And we are likewise looking forward to 2023, but we are going to miss your leadership this year. And, just thank you again for all that you do for us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Idaho Realtors podcast, our association's podcast for membership, education, and outreach. Thank you to Patrick Malone for joining us for this episode. My name is Nick Stout, and I am the IR Communications Director, and I was your host for this week's episode. Remember to visit our website and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following us on your preferred podcast platform, liking us on social media, and sharing it with your friends and followers. Thank you again for joining us for this week's episode, and take care until next time.